Okay, guys, welcome. It is a marvelous January 16th, Thursday morning or afternoon, depending on what time zone you are in. Joe Anthony here, work with Joe Anthony. Love to have amazing guests on the program. And I have been running some online courses and have some different uh, students that I've been working with. And one of the students that I've been working with recently is working with a company that has some breakthrough technology, and I wanted to bring her on. I wanted to interview her. You get an opportunity to learn a little bit more about this new breakthrough technology, which is really having worldwide mass interest. And so let me bring her on. Let's see here if we can get her on. Susanne, are you there?
I'm here.
Susanne?
Hi, how are you?
Hey, good morning. Awesome.
Good
Good morning.
morning.
Good morning. So
Morning.
let me, I just was telling our audience today a little bit about this sweeping technology that we're having in pretty much, what is it, about 100 countries. So let me just introduce you. So Susanne is a manager with LifeWave. Basically, we're going to learn, what she's going to share with us today is why this technology is such a breakthrough historical, I guess, technology and what it's doing for the stem cell revolution. So welcome to the broadcast today, Susanne. It's great. So kind of
Thank you.
tell us, maybe start with, great to have you. So tell us, first of all, what was it that introduced you to this technology? Maybe you can kind of take us back a little bit.
Yeah, sure. Happy to do so. So I have been involved in integrated wealth, health, and actually wealth services. And personally, I was looking for something to help me sleep. And from there, I was introduced to the LifeWave product, which is just really incredibly cutting edge. And it has completely transformed my life. So a little bit about the product itself. It assists our body in activating the stem cells that we currently have. So typically, once you get to about the age 50, you're kind of running on fumes. You only have about 25% stem cells running around your body, creating healing and healing tissue and regenerating and restructuring our body. So people think, okay, well, what's a stem cell? Well, a stem cell is um, the master switch, master cell in the body, and it is so very important that these cells are nourished and taken care of. So before this nanotechnology that's wearable has come out, people were basically stuck with having to do the standard drinking clean water, eating properly, and maybe supplementation, which was, a little bit of a um, crapshoot. You really didn't know if anything was actually happening. But LifeWave has developed these programs, I think, for about 15 years, initially through the Navy SEALs. David Schmidt, who is a biologist and a researcher and the inventor of the stem cell patch, is just absolutely incredible, giving this product to humanity to revolutionize and change our life. So, with me being on that, within literally one night, I woke up the next day having a very incredibly deep sleep and feeling really, really amazing. I have been suffering from having poor, um, poor deep sleep. I invested in a Garmin watch, like a Fitbit, and this actually was tracking my sleep habits for about 3 weeks before being introduced to the LifeWave product. So I was getting probably less than 5% deep sleep, and sleep researchers say you need at least 25%. Well, I'm happy to report that by day 2 of me being on the X39, I was literally being able to get deep into sleep by between 45% and 60% each night.
Now that's interesting. So, I mean, that's really amazing. So, had you been looking for a quote unquote side hustle, just to do some other business, or what? How did this even kind of fall on your lap?
Yeah, it's amazing as to how it snowballed because I was primarily looking for something to complement my skills that I have. And I did get involved trying to with a startup, going online, being the product manager, the content, blah, blah, blah. And invested about a year and a half trying to get that off the ground with another partner. And it just was so much more involved than we had figured, that I had figured, that it was something that we decided to put on the back burner. And I got excited about the product, first because it was working, and second because I was looking for something to supplement my income. And I didn't have any like big thoughts on it, but I was willing to go at it. And once I learned how amazing it was, how it was vegan, it was organic, and number one, it's crystal based. So I'm a crystal gal. I love everything to do with crystals as to how they're expressions of God's great creation in the universe. And they're like little pieces of art. Every single crystal is unique, like we are, and there are amazing properties of crystals. The crystals hold energy, and they reflect energy back into wearers. Some people are energetically sensitive. I am. I can actually feel the energy. So when I held the patch, um, it's literally I could feel the energy in my fingertips in the patch. So I knew something was happening with it. And the crystals are interesting because what they do is they actually um, reflect our own infrared light from our bodies. And we emit a light, it's a vibration. Everything, we're all vibrational beings, right, Joe? Yeah. So
That's
it
right.
reflects the light like little mirror back into our body, but they put a little wiggle onto it. And this wiggle allows our body naturally become stimulated um, to respond in a particular fashion, and then our body is then given the tools to heal. So it's not directly even going directly to the stem cells first. There's a molecule, I don't know if you've heard about it. There's a Dr. Picard, who's been doing 25 years research on the GHK copper peptide, which is a very small molecule. This is almost taking me back to chemistry days. And this peptide is so important to nourish our stem cells. And when these stem cells are nourished, they become alive and they come in full operation. So then they go and they seek out triage through in the body to actually help our healing.
That's
So
amazing.
yeah,
So,
so then when yeah, so just I didn't get a chance to mention, I kind of like uh, diverged a little bit in the conversation. But um, what I found was is that because the business itself was so personable, and it's all about sharing and caring about how other people are feeling and doing, it was a very nice offshoot to complement me as an individual, because I really like to help people. And in the background, I thought, love to get into coaching, help support people. I do coaching anyways, but more from a physical standpoint with people. But now thinking, this is actually going somewhere. Time to get involved, get ahead of everything because it's brand new launched. This is like so new in the marketplace. Thought, yep. And so here I am talking with you. Who knew?
uh, I know that's amazing. So, the company LifeWave has chosen to market their product through network marketing. Is that correct? As a
Yeah. Yeah.
means
Or
of
some people,
distribution?
yeah, or just what do you call it? Direct sales as well. Yeah, which is the same.
Hmm.
So,
So, well, I mean, there are um, opportunities for people like yourself.
mhm.
You are a manager, so you have a team that you're building that
Right.
you also can get a override from, so help people understand if somebody were to get involved with the company and they become a distributor,
Right.
they could sell the product directly themselves,
Mm-hmm.
but they
Yep.
can also build a team
Yes. Yeah.
network.
Yeah.
And
So
what's
it's
this? Yeah, go ahead.
sorry. You pitched out on there for me for a second. It's a very simple but rewarding system. Um, and essentially I am building a team and I'm looking for people that are like-minded who wish to move forward in helping themselves free up some time, get financial freedom, but also helping other people. So so I built my team, and anything new that I learn in order to reach and get this product out as fast as I can for the benefit of other people to feel better. Like my bones aren't aching anymore, and I was supposed to actually have plantar fasciitis surgery that would have put me out by about 6 months, Joe. And I am totally okay with that now. I do not need surgery. I'm so happy. I'm having that hallelujah kind of moment.
That's incredible. And I'm sure there must be like just tons and tons of case study testimonials where people
Yeah,
are sharing, their personal experience with it. So, what is the scope? I was going to ask, what is the scope of this company's reach? I mean, I know that you're in Canada. Oh, and that's
right.
the other thing I wanted to mention. So you are physically today in Canada.
I am in Canada. Yep, yep, just outside of Toronto.
Okay.
And
Okay.
but
So,
they're in about
yeah.
100 countries, and it's expanding. 100 countries, like country distribution. And if you go to the LifeWave site, I think you're probably going to put my link down there, Joe. Um, you can go into
Yep.
the science of it. Over 100 patents, and we're going to be learning actually more about new studies. Lots of studies. This company is founded on doing double-blind placebo, and also because it's a photobiomodulation therapy. If you even Google that, it's starting to even go mainstream in that over 6,000 scientific medical journal articles that you can find through the web. So people can keep happy if they want to do research.
What is your username? So if they go to lifewave.com/, what is your username?
Susanne Armstrong.
Okay. All right, guys. So I'm going to put this up here so that if you want to connect with Susanne, all you do is you just go to lifewave.com/Susanne Armstrong, and you can learn, more about her. You have a Facebook page, Susanne Elaine. Is that
Yes, I do. That's correct.
okay?
Hmm.
Let's add that as well. So we're going to give
Oh, thank you, Joe.
them,
With that.
let's see, Susanne Elaine is, so it's facebook.com/, let's see, facebook.com/ just Susanne Elaine, right?
Yep, just that.
All one word. Okay.
All one word. And on my Facebook, I'm planning to also have pages put on there, create groups. I really want to help nourish the mind, body, and spirit to support our lives financially, personally, and within our body too.
Hmm.
So, wealth, health, and
That's
happiness. That's my goal.
that's a
And I want
great
to bring
goal.
other
That's a
people
great
along for a
goal.
ride. Yeah, I want to bring other people along for the ride too.
Yeah.
Movers and
Well,
shakers.
we've got a decent audience this morning following right now. It looks like we've got a few from. Let's see. We got David. We got Prahad. We've got
Hey, David.
Dean, Aziz, Robert, Jace. We've got quite a few following right now, or
Wonderful.
at least watching.
That's
So that's
awesome.
great.
This is
So
wonderful. Yeah.
so So now I'm just curious, and we just have a few minutes left, and I wanted the audience to also learn a couple things more. So
Mhm.
basically, what you're saying is that people could be doing other things to make their immune system stronger. Drinking. I know a lot of people drink this alkaline water. They call it
Right.
Kangen water.
Mhm.
And that does help. To some degree, it's antioxidant, etc. But tell us what is still going on with the body in terms of the stem cells, as you indicated earlier. As we age, like when you're 30, etc., when you start losing stem cells. So even if you're doing all these other things, it's not preventing your stem cells from ceasing to function again. And talk a little bit about this idea of activating them to a younger person, like a
Yes.
younger state.
Yeah. So the once the stem cells are activated, they are then operating like you used to have your stem cells operating when you're like before you're 20. So to me, if you're over the age of 15, everyone can benefit. Um, they they go right down to the smallest cell, even activate down to the DNA, which is really interesting. So apparently, the DNA has switches which turn on and off depending on what needs to be done within the whole body system.
Hmm.
And they after a period of time, and so it's always recommended um, being on the patch for 3 months use. That's where you're seeing most of the benefit. I started with the company in at middle October, actually October 20th, and I'm finding I'm having improvement. It's like every week or every so many days. So they go and they restructure, they support. There's also a study after 6 weeks of wearing the X39, our cardio health reverses back. So it reverts back and becomes healthier by 2 months.
Okay,
It's,
that's interesting.
yeah.
So people above really the age of 30. Now, sometimes people will not notice things in terms of their pain. Like, to tell us a little bit about, say, for instance, people with high blood pressure, people with um, different situations or issues going on that may not be something they can measure, like, say, back pain. Like my pain,
Right.
for instance, if I wake up every day with pain and then I start wearing this X39 patch that
Mhm.
you are referring to, and I notice my pain dissipates, that I can measure. What if somebody is not really in pain on a daily basis? What are some other things that they can measure,
Right.
such as, like, say, blood pressure and things like that?
Right. So just so know, I'm not a medical doctor at all, but how the product is really beneficial is it actually works at the symptoms, but it goes to heart of whatever is creating the symptoms. So we might not know. Um, Pain is one of those things where you don't know where your pain threshold is. It's hard to put a lever, put a, they can't plug you in to establish what level of pain. If you say you're at a 10 out of 10 pain, you're at a 10 out of 10. Um, Someone else would say 1 out of 10, but we don't know whether or not that's the same level or it's just how we perceive pain. But there are so many other markers that are connected to aging that X39 assists in reversing. So, sleeplessness is a really big thing, or the inability to go back to sleep, which is insomnia. So that's been like eradicated for me. Um, Other things too. There is glutathione that's actually stimulated when you wear the patch, and glutathione is very important for um, our detoxing of our body. It's a major major antioxidant. Get my tongue all tripped over here. Um, and um, we create that about we I think we create about 20% when we exercise. So the rule of thumb is if from here up you have a cold, you can exercise and actually can benefit, but from here down, you best not to exercise. Um, So imagine for those people who can't exercise. I mean, I've been instructing for 10 years doing personal training, and I really had a hard time getting out of bed and putting weight on my feet so I couldn't exercise. Um, so, in order to benefit, put the patch on, glutathione levels increase by 30%. So your immune system is supported, your thyroid function is supported, your cardiac function is supported, and your brain. I am no longer swimming in a fog, forgetting things, being distracted. My focus has become hyper focused. And I only started because I wanted to sleep better. And we can always have like another segment on this, Joe, about all the other amazing things that are happening. But my skin is better. People are saying, "What are you doing? You're looking younger." Well, yes, I am, because it helps with fine lines, helps support the collagen, which is the connective tissue that's in all of our bodies, plus in our skin and hair. I was experiencing some hair loss, and my hair is growing. My eyelashes are getting longer. My eyebrows are coming back in. Um, I'm noticing that brown patches that were on my hands are gone, and my face is having an even tone. So, I mean, literally, it's a head to toe, you know, one thing will kind of do it all, but it's all holistic. It's all natural. There's nothing evasive. It's not a transdermal, so nothing's going into the body. Um, People have been finding that headaches are less. I haven't had any type of major headache episode like a migraine well, usually I would get it when the change of weather and the pressure changes. Haven't had any major headaches since October, which is great.
That's awesome. That's great.
Mhm.
And we just have about a minute or so left. So one of the things I loved about having students, I do a online mentoring. So I help people who are in network marketing or
Yes, you
doing
do.
a direct sales type of business, home-based business, etc. Which is how you and I actually met.
Yeah.
And we started your coaching. Actually, started your class. I do a 4-week course. If you could just put a little, how
Sure.
would you say, how would you rate so far what you've learned, in that side of it?
I'm impressed. Yeah, I'm impressed. 10 out of 10. Joe is very supportive, very helpful. I have to admit, I kind of bumble around a little bit with the technology. Technology is changing so quickly. There's like no way I could imagine trying to keep up with anything. And I had dove in. Probably before I met you at the end of November when I returned back from San Diego from a Darren Hardy seminar. Um, and it was fantastic, but I was just whirling in where to look, how to dive into it. And I was investing in about 90 hours just trying to research every single week how to reach out to those in Webland. Thanks for coming. And I'm really, really glad that we did connect because your um, I've only had what 2 sessions with you so far, and it's a 10 out of 10. I'm really, really happy. So much so that I am creating myself to interfere having my proper 7 hours of sleep because I'm so excited. I'm like, whoo, got to set this up and do that and watch this video and put this down and I will eventually find the proper hours of time in the day to get things going. But I did already set up my new Facebook site and started doing posting. I got people following. I really love being able to take this technology that started off as just being social chatter and taking up one extra level to reach people who are like me. There's 8 billion people on the planet. Joe, there's got to be at least 10,000 that want to come under me, or maybe 100,000 that want to
Right,
join me. Like I'm here to
right.
support, pass on, improve, share. I'll be basically doing it every step of the way. And I've got a friend in Joe.
And thank you for sharing that. And I appreciate your words, and I appreciate what you said.
Oh,
And
my pleasure.
because it really takes people like you. It takes people like Suzanne and so many others. Have been I had my mentors, and I had people that looked to, that I had to make personal changes. I have been telling people that network marketing or direct sales, if you're doing any type of online business where you're interacting with people, building a social network, and you have a product or service, what you're doing is you are building a brand of you. People do business with people, and they do
Hmm.
business with people they know, like, and trust. And that's one of the big things that most people don't understand, or they don't know how to connect. I mean, there's, like you said, 8 billion. I mean, there's over 1 billion people just on Facebook alone. All you need
Hmm.
is a small little, half of a percent of that,
Yes.
and you can retire. I mean, literally. So it's understanding. Look, I always say, and we'll kind of close with this point, is that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Very
And
true.
that is what we are doing, right? So we are reaching out, and thank you, for sharing today. And again, if you want
Oh,
to
my pleasure.
connect
Thank
with
you.
Suzanne, Elaine, you're very welcome. And anybody that wants to connect with you, again, it's facebook.com/. You can connect with her on Facebook, and then she can share some more in-depth details. Guys, have a wonderful rest of your Thursday. Hopping on for this quick
Yes. Thanks for coming
interview.
on.
So much. Thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure.
And everybody have an awesome your day. Enjoy.